Love and Betrayal, a journey through shadow. You ever feel like fate's got its eye on you? Alex's voice was a whisper in the night, the kind that lingers like the chill of a midnight breeze. Jenna didn't answer, just stared out over the city lights, wondering if it was fate or some cruel twist that had led them to this moment. Jenna's fingers tightened around the worn leather seat, her gaze tracing the shimmering cityscape that stretched below, like stars scattered on dark water. "Alex," she murmured, her voice barely breaking the tension. "What if we're just fooling ourselves here?" Alex gave her that sidelong look, a smirk breaking through his hardened exterior, but his eyes held a flash of something real, something dangerous. "We're more than just foolin', darlin'," he replied, voice low and steady. He leaned in close, his breath warm against her cheek. "You and me? We've got something most folks would risk everything for." But there, hidden in the shadows, a predator lay in wait, someone who would stop at nothing to take her away. Chapter 1. A bond forged in danger. Alex and Jenna had met in the most unlikely of places, a dimly lit back alley, where Jenna's car had broken down. What started as a helping hand had sparked something neither expected. Jenna, with her cautious nature and steady job, had found herself captivated by Alex's world of secrets and risks, a life where danger was as constant as breathing. Alex, notorious in underground circles as the untouchable, had made enemies who would stop at nothing to get revenge. Among them was the Ghost, a man shrouded in rumors, whispered about in the corners of criminal circles. The Ghost had once been a friend to Alex, but betrayal had shattered that bond, leaving only a searing hatred. Now, Alex's association with Jenna had become a weapon, and the Ghost was determined to exploit it. Chapter 2. The Warning. It was one late night, in a rundown motel on the edge of town. Jenna, exhausted from their constant moves, barely noticed the slip of paper someone slid under the door. But when Alex read it, his face turned pale. He recited the words in a low, tight voice. "Bring her to me by midnight, or I'll come find her myself." Jenna's heart raced as she gripped his arm. "Alex, who is this guy? And why does he want me?" Alex's gaze softened, the tough facade dropping just for a moment. "The Ghost, he was once my partner. But things went south, and he's been after me ever since. Now he thinks you're my Achilles heel." Jenna swallowed hard. "So, what now?" Chapter 3. Outrunning Shadows. They hit the road, the engine roaring as they sped down deserted highways. Jenna felt every bump in the road, like a pulse in her chest, her mind racing as fast as the car. She could see the weight of Alex's past pressing down on him, the history he tried to outrun for so long now catching up. "You can still leave, you know," he said, glancing at her, his voice laced with regret. "I won't think any less of you." But Jenna shook her head, her hand finding his on the gearshift. "Alex, I'm not leaving. Not now, not ever. If he wants to come for us, let him." They spent the night moving, never staying in one place for too long, each stop only fueling their desperation. But in each other's arms, they found fleeting moments of peace, quiet enough to remind them why they kept fighting. Chapter 4. The Ghost's Plan Unveiled. In the early hours of dawn, they arrived at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The Ghost had set his trap, a place where he knew Alex's defenses would be weakest. Alex planned to confront him head-on, with Jenna hiding nearby, ready to jump in if things went sideways. The Ghost stepped out of the shadows, his face a mask of contempt and twisted satisfaction. "You're as predictable as ever, Alex," he sneered. "You always did underestimate me." Alex squared his shoulders, his voice calm but filled with an icy edge. "This is between you and me, Ghost. Leave her out of it." The Ghost laughed, his gaze flickering over to where Jenna hid. "Oh, but she's already involved. You think I came all this way just for you? No, Alex. She's the reason I'm here." Chapter 5. Sacrifice and Strategy. Realizing their plan wasn't enough, Jenna stepped out of the shadows, meeting the ghost's eyes with defiance. "You want him? Fine. But you'll have to get through me first." The ghost's eyes sparkled with amusement, as if her courage was nothing more than a joke. But she didn't waver, her gaze fierce, her body poised. This was her fight now too, and she would stand by Alex no matter the cost. "You're braver than I expected," the ghost said, his tone mocking. "But foolish, just like him." In that moment, Alex saw his chance. As the ghost moved toward Jenna, he lunged, catching the ghost by surprise and locking him in a fierce struggle. Jenna ducked to the side, grabbing a nearby pipe and swinging it toward one of the ghost's men, adrenaline fueling her strength. Chapter 6: The Final Showdown. The warehouse erupted into chaos as Alex and the ghost clashed, each move charged with years of resentment and betrayal. Jenna held her ground, fighting off the ghost's henchmen, her mind racing with every possible escape route. She could feel Alex's strength beside her, their combined resolve a force stronger than fear. But the ghost was relentless. He moved with deadly precision, using every dirty trick he'd picked up over the years. "You're a fool, Alex. Did you really think you could have a normal life? You're a criminal. You'll always be a criminal." Alex's eyes flashed with anger. "Maybe I am. But that doesn't mean she has to pay for it." In a final, desperate move, Alex managed to overpower the ghost, pinning him to the ground. "You lost, ghost. This ends now." Chapter 7: A New Beginning. With the ghost finally subdued, Alex and Jenna made their way out of the warehouse, bruised but undefeated. As they stepped into the dawn's first light, they realized that the world felt different now, as if they'd shed the shadows of their past along with their pursuer. Jenna looked at Alex, her eyes filled with pride and relief. "We did it, together." Alex nodded, pulling her close. "Yeah, we did, and no one's taking that from us." As they walked away, hand in hand, they left behind the warehouse and the memories it held, a testament to the strength of their love. They were no